This week on Alan's Antics from IntelliHub.com. Would you swallow a data tracking big pharma smart pill? They've got $1 trillion in annual profits to protect. Big Pharma is spending like never before to make sure patients take their drugs, and investors recently committed $172 million for smart pills being developed jointly by Proteus Digital Health and Otsuka Pharmaceuticals. Big Pharma will stop at nothing to make sure it keeps hold of the global economy. The worldwide market for pharmaceuticals topped $1 trillion in sales just in 2014. The world's 10 largest drug companies generated $429.4 billion of that revenue. 5 of the top 10 companies are headquartered in the US: Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Abbott Laboratories, Merck and Eli Lilly. Over 1,100 paid lobbyists make sure your government and our government here in the UK is doing this industry's bidding as well. Do you need to take those pills that the doctor gave you? And if so, are you going to take a smart one which makes sure that everybody else knows what you've taken? From communitycare.co.uk, 7 priorities for improving the lives of people with autism, by Susan Dunn. Saturday, 2nd of April, was World Autism Awareness Day, and we're now into the second ever World Autism Awareness Week. During the week, we can expect to see buildings lit up, Onesie Wednesdays, where people dress in onesies in aid of National Autistic Society and to raise awareness, and sales of multicoloured cakes to reflect the autism spectrum. There will be night walks for autism in London, barefoot firewalks in Leeds, and fundraising activities and awareness events. But underneath the balloons, the razzmatazz, and the Mickey Mouse onesies at work, what really are the issues facing people with autism? What actually do we need to be aware of? And how can an awareness-raising week lead to improved social care? By raising awareness of these in World Autism Awareness Week and putting them firmly on the agenda of people who work with and for people with autism, let's hope the impact extends beyond just this 1 week in April to make lasting and long-term changes. Suzanne Dunn has Asperger's syndrome and is the author of A Pony in the Bedroom, about life with undiagnosed autism. She writes and talks widely on the subject and works with adults on the spectrum. Private matter? That's rich. Edward Snowden deals Cameron a Twitter takedown. David Cameron has been called out for hypocrisy by NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden after the PM, who has presided over a raft of new surveillance powers, claimed his late father's tax affairs are, quote, a private matter. Edward Snowden has once again brought to the fore something which is going to have a massive impact on all of us. And are we going to take notice? I wonder. Also, you have to bear in mind that David Cameron was very, very clever when he chose who he married. His wife is from the Astor family. Just have a look at their background to find out just how dodgy they are and how clever they've been with money over the years. He knew exactly what he was doing when he married his wife. Well, I never. There's a surprise. If you've been under a rock, then you may have missed this, but David Cameron admits he did profit from a £30,000 stake in his late father's tax haven investment fund, but sold the shares in 2010 before becoming PM. How very convenient. David Cameron finally admitted last night that he had profited from more than £30,000 in an offshore tax haven. After days of pressure, the Prime Minister acknowledged that he had benefited from a controversial fund set up by his late father Ian. He also accepted that some of the £300,000 left to him by his father may also have come from funds lodged offshore. Labour has repeatedly called for Downing Street to publish the full details of Mr Cameron's links to Blairmore. Mr Leach said that the Prime Minister needed to say if the £300,000 he received from his father's will was the proceeds of a scheme that avoided tax. He added the answer is probably yes, as he would have denied it otherwise, but even then, he's not done anything illegal, although it is politically embarrassing. And when, of course, you're one of those people that can make the changes and make the laws and make anything legal or illegal that you want, then you can make sure that everything you do is legal, can't you? Well, that was just a little snapshot of the week on Alan's Antics on RadioFreeUK.org. To hear the full recordings and a whole lot more, go to RadioFreeUK.org. And there'll be more next week. Take care and have a safe one.